up guys, I hope you're all doing well. Today is day 3 of Gwent's Black Sun expansion reveal campaign and we are going to be targeting Syndicate. Yes, it is very cold in South Africa. Yes, I am wearing a onesie and no, I cannot be bothered to do anything about it right now. So our first creator of the day is Ecstasis. Ecstasis went ahead and revealed the first Syndicate card, which is a 4 for 4. It's called the Pearl Diver. It is a human, it is a pirate, it is a tide cloak, and it is not cursed, interestingly enough. This card will have a timer of 3, which will gain 6 coins for you. And as you can see there, a timer means that before the end of the turn, the timer ticks down by 1. It's not the same as a counter, and when it reaches 0, it will trigger the ability before all the other cards on your side of the board. So essentially after 3 turns, Pearl Diver will give you 6 coins. So this has the potential to be like a 10 for 4 card if you want to be very blunt about it. Of course, there are Syndicate cards that give you more exchange value than 1 point per coin, but by the bare minimum, it is a 10 for 4 if it's not killed. Next up, we have Size Matters TTV. The card he got to reveal is Treasure Huntress. It is a 4 for 5 with a profit of 3, which already puts it on a 7 for 5. It also has a keyword we don't see very often, and it's the Horde ability keyword. Now, I'm personally very excited that Syndicate Horde is getting some love, because there was a time when Hidden Cash was the leader ability of every Syndicate player, and it even made it into the competitive scene for quite a bit, until it was nerfed to oblivion. It seems CDPR is attempting to rectify that nerf, making it stronger again, but let's not count our eggs before it has hatched. So we've got Horde 7, meaning that if you have 7 coins in your pocket, you are able to use the fee for 3 coins, which will infuse an allied unit with, at the end of your turn, gain 1 coin. That is super interesting and I am here for it. Also, another card that immediately triggers my attention is the Townsfolk. So whenever you gain a coin, this card boosts itself by 1. Now imagine a whole row of cards that have been infused by the Treasure Huntress, all giving you 1 coin a turn. Picture 9 cards doing that. Townsfolk will get 9 points every single turn, turning into a 9-point engine. Obviously CDPR knows about the potential of Townsfolk, hence the reason it is a 6 provision card. So I'm a big fan of this card because I love cards that are coin engines, and this one allows you to make engines out of multiple different cards. I think it's a very strong 5 provision card, but it does force you to spend coins which you might not already have, so it is quite conditional at the end of the day. But hey, if you can make more engines, then what is the problem? Next we have Gwent, and Gwent got to reveal the new Flinders Crew. Flinders Crew is once again a human, it is a pirate, and it is a tide cloak. On deploy, it will spawn 3 base copies of self on this row, which means that you will get 3, 6, 9, 12 points of value immediately. It will reduce the number of copies by 1 for every counter. So, your hordes require 1 less coin to trigger. Horde 9. Once per round at the end of your turn while in hand or deck, remove a counter. So if you are able to reach Horde 9, meaning you have 9 coins in your pocket in round 1, 2 and 3, that is going to be removing 3 counters, giving this card its ability. So if you have less than that, it will not be 12 points off the bat. Instead, it will probably be played in round 2 and it will have something like 9 points instead. So this is an interesting card. I can see the reason you'd want to spawn cards on the board for multiple reasons. And yeah, it's quite interesting, I must say. But yes, this card will also allow your hordes to require 1 less coin to trigger, which is quite interesting because if you are able to pull off this card in round 3, meaning you get 4 copies of this card on the board, that is 4 different versions of the card that will require 1 less coin to trigger your horde. So let's say you have a card that needs 9 coins to be triggering horde. That's going to be 5 coins now to trigger it instead. And obviously there are a bunch of horde cards that we will want to include in our deck to make the most out of this card's ability. last but not least, it is TG Gwent, as well as the one and only Mill Ambassador hand reader. So let's see what they got to reveal in Syndicate. So it is another scenario at 15 provisions. This is the second scenario in this expansion that has a 15 on the bottom right. Interesting. This is a scenario that is also cursed, the only cursed card in the Syndicate expansion release. Quite interesting. So, progress whenever you play a Tide Cloak. Makes sense. I mean, every single card we just saw was a Tide Cloak. Prologue, spawn Gudrun Bjorn's daughter on this row. I massacred that name, I'm so sorry. Now let's take a look at what that card entails. Gudrun Bjorn's daughter. It's human daughter? Daughter? Did I unlock some lore here? Is this Bjorn's daughter by any chance? Tell me in the comments, I need to know. It is a human, it is a pirate, a Tide Cloak, and it's cursed. There we go, and that is the cursed card, and that is how we tie everything back to the Black Sun. I'm all for the lore, and we need some cursed cards to make up for that. So we have Horde 7, Fee 3, infuse an enemy unit with, whenever your opponent gains coins, damage self by 1. That is super interesting. So if you have 7 coins in your pocket, you can use this card as a fee 3, meaning you can spend 3 coins, infuse an enemy unit with, whenever your opponent gains coins, damage self by 1. That is so cool. That means if we have a whole row of cards getting coins, like 9, then your opponent is going to lose 9 points of damage every time that happens. Okay, I'm a big fan of this. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This might be one of the first cards I play. Okay, well, up next, after that has been spawned, we will now have Chapter 1, Horde 8. At the end of your turn, gain enough coins to fill your pouch. So you'd think, because it's with Horde 8, it's also a passive ability, meaning it's in effect the whole time the scenario is on the board. You will need 8 coins, and a pocket only has the capacity for 9 coins. You'd think that every turn you can play 1 coin and then you'll get it back, but that's not the case. As I said, it appears that CDPR is really pushing for the hidden cash leader ability to come back. And if that is the case, we can take a look at that here real quick. So hidden cash allows you to gain 3 coins when it is clicked, and at the beginning of the round it refreshes the ability. Your hordes also require 2 less coins to trigger. Now pair that with a card we just saw in the expansion, and you can actually considerably affect the amount of coins needed to trigger Horde 8. So if that is the case, even though Horde 8 is triggered, you might even need up to 5 coins to fill your pouch every turn, making this like a 5-point engine, which is absolutely insane. So this scenario alone could make for a 5-point engine. That's ridiculously strong, and that tells me exactly why it is 15 provisions. So you'd have to have a spender to be able to use your coins, you'd have to have multiple cards in effect and leader ability to reduce your horde, and then you'll be able to basically fill up your pouch at the end of every turn. So strong. This is my favorite scenario thus far. Chapter 2. Damage the highest enemy unit by the number of coins you have. Alright, well, Chapter 2 will be triggered when we play another Tide Cloak. We'll have 9 coins, obviously, and then we'll be able to damage an enemy unit by 9 points. This is so insanely strong. I want to say this is the strongest one yet. Well, guys, tell me what you think about the Syndicate expansion. Tell me your ideas of decks. Tell me what you think is the strengths and weaknesses of these cards. I will be back tomorrow with the Monster expansion, and I can't wait to see what they have in store for us.